better now? Okay, I was doubling. Oh no, I see what happened. Okay, never mind. Forget everything I said. Alright. Are you guys ready to dive in? Perfect. So, just a few quick announcements. Welcome back, everyone. I was thinking about it with the camping supplies. I just figured like I kind of want to move away from the technical aspect of camping supplies. I know you guys have been tracking it, and we kind of introduced that, but I just kind of bogged it down. I realized in our other campaign, so I'm kind of doing away with camping supplies. I'm just assuming that you guys are eating during your rests and that you're getting food. And once in a while, I might be like, okay, you've been traveling for quite a while. Your rations are probably low. You need to spend some money at the next city or whatever. I might do something like that. But other than that, I'm not going to track camping supplies anymore. Just kind of bogs it down. Let's see. What other announcements? I think I'm not as I receive them in my brain, I will let you know. But yeah, welcome back. We're gonna do something a little different to start out the session, which is season 4, episode 12. We are going to do the recap in just a second, but I'm going to do an intro first. It's not like anything like planned or anything. Well, it's something planned, but it's not like a monologue or anything. It's just we're going to pick up where we left off, do a little thing, and then do the recap. So, if you all forgot where you are, don't worry. We'll get to it in a second. But as of right now, you are in Hezron's place. In Vori, in his like kind of log cabin. Yeah, getting a little sus about Hezron. We'll get into that recap and all that later. But I think we ended last session with out of this like fireplace, the rest of the snow elves kind of came stumbling out and teleported back to the Feywild, back to Vori. So out of the fireplace, you saw these 5 snow elves, and I gave you the pictures of them as they kind of came out one by one, teleporting back from fighting the Kraken. And with them came one other person, I believe it's a half-orc, got like a big, long sword with them. He looks charred to death, pretty much. He looks unconscious, blackened, skin all over. And at this point, we will welcome our guest for tonight. Budding. Troy Boy, welcome. I did. I told him I would text him before, and I definitely forgot. So he's like in the bathroom right now. Oh shoot. Troy, you there? I'm gonna text him. I definitely told him I would text him beforehand, and I forgot. But in the meantime, while we wait for him, he's going to join us for the session. As you see his character come flying through the fireplace. When he gets here, I want someone to give us the recap, or as best as they can, for the last session. And of course, if you miss things, that is fine, because I will piece them together, because I have the recap as well.
That means 7. This time, I'll do next time. Amber's gonna say that. I'm not sticking to that. Years. I will say that for 7 years. Nina also touched her nose. Nina's not it. I'm talking like every other word. I'm getting my nose. Don't worry. Don't worry, everybody. The bard's got this. Bard's on their way. The bard's coming. Like, for me, this is pretty good now. I'm looking back, I'm like, well, Chris said we're on session 11, 12, and my last thing was session 10, so I don't even know if I'm on the right. Last session was a lot of drop working in, so I have like notes. So
There he is. You got a face? You got a face cam, Daddy? Yep. I definitely should have did a test with you beforehand, but as you all heard, I was rolling stuff beforehand, as I always do. No matter how long I had to prep for this dang session, I still needed minutes before. Always happens like that. But welcome, Troy. Look at this man. We were just describing your character coming tumbling through the fireplace. Do you want to describe your character for us?
My character is a half-human orc. He is about 6'5" to 50, pretty decent sized guy. Not overly large, but pretty lean to me. Long black hair, got very short little tusks on the bottom mouth, bottom jaw. Crazy looking sword. Just a little, kind of like a flame. But yeah, normal leathers, no crazy armor or anything like that. Pretty, and definitely a fighter, barbarian type fighter class. Yeah.
And he is burnt to a crisp. He is blackened all over. Some of his leathers are tattered and torn. Definitely bleeding. He's soaking wet. Sand kind of blasted through his hair. Just looks a whole hot mess as he lays there unconscious on the floor. So let's pause on that. And who's got a recap for us as best as they possibly can? Let's go. The music is on. The floor is yours.
Bearing in mind this is from Walter's point of view. So
Naturally.
your very best. This episode is also entitled Hot People Only, which instantly reminded me of everything you need to know about this. Alright. I'm gonna tell everyone about the super weird vibe I got from the anomaly, who is still nowhere to be found. Super annoying. Xander pledged himself to help us find Contiaverse. Super duper, because he's really powerful, as we've all determined at this point. As we walk, we come across a small village named Veilwood. Pristine, beautiful, love it. The buildings all are lit, but it's a ghost town. We hear strange noises in the distance, like an arrow unsheathing and smacking its target over and over and over again. And we find this woman. Her name is Adelaide. She's stuck here from the other side. Our side. She's part of an elite battalion from Arathia known as the Nomial Armada. She was sent through the Bay of Confusion on a suicide mission, essentially. She is convinced that there's just simply no way back. But what we do learn from her is that Hezron, who we've been looking for quite some time now, is here. We ask about Calliope's memories immediately. He just fully has them in a jar and is ready to hand them over. We don't really have to do anything else. We question him about our other quests, and he told us so much. He tells us the world will end. Again, very unfortunate if Diaverse collects all the dragon stones. We were reminded about what the fuck the elemental rings were. He knows where they are in Genesis. There's the water ring. It is in a prison known as Stonehaven with a man named Calamity. He was taken as prisoner of war by the earth elementals, who apparently suck very much. Also, it turns out Hezron and the Deciders, trapped the anomaly in the lake, and we brought her back. Unknowingly, of course. Though I think that we would have actually done it knowingly if we had just another situation too. They imprisoned her simply because she was too powerful, and that granted all of fantastic side eyes from both me and her. That's just the Wenches don't agree with that choice at all, but we gotta go before the anomaly shows up to gain him, because we don't want to be a path of destruction, and it will surely be destruction. And we don't blame her, to be honest with you. We kind of came to that, so we just really don't blame her. And he's been taking orders from this thing called the Sword of Frost, which apparently has made every prophecy ever. Again, super sketchy. Really, we try not to trust things if you can see where it keeps its brain, but we have one more thing
Dang, Charlotte.
We don't have to every time. We're gonna talk about my memories with leaving this place, and that's right. I went to write it last time, and she was like, "No, I wouldn't share that." I was like, "Oh, okay." Not if I was like, "Why didn't I write that down? That's important information."
Yep. Perfect. Well, thank you, Valdrick. Give yourself a inspiration dice to be used, a bat on the back, and an inspiration dice to be used only in this episode. It's different from your other inspiration. I don't know if I've done this for you guys yet for summaries, but it's different from your other inspiration in that you can't like stack it and just kind of hold on to it. It's 1d20. You can roll it after any roll is made. So before I tell you the outcome, you can roll it and it'll re-roll your result, and you can take the higher of the two. And it's a one-time use. And if you forget to use it this episode, it's gone. So, that's for your little recap inspiration. Thank you very much. As the theme perfectly finishes on time. All right. Allow us to dive in. Some clerical work. No pun intended, Solara. I do have to hand out XP to you all because Calliope, you completed your quest of getting to the Feywild and retrieving your memories. That was a quest of yours. So everyone clap for Calliope, yay! And Calliope, you give yourself 3,000 XP. 3,000 XP to Calliope. Everyone else for aiding her in this adventure gets 1,500, except for Ren. Ren, you're gonna get XP for killing the Kraken. It's gonna be split 6 ways because you guys didn't actually get the final blow. It was the deciders that just teleported with you. So it's gonna be 50,000 divided by 6, and that comes up to 8,003. I think this is right. 50 divided by 6, 8,333. Repeating, of course. I mean, she's dead, but sure. Okay, here we go. Sure. You can give your other character that's dead a 8,333 XP. We'll round it up to an 8.5 for you. Actually, Troy, it's going to be... We'll round it up to 8.5, and then you're also... This was a lifelong... Which none of you are going to know this. This is player knowledge, not character knowledge. This was a lifelong goal of Ren Firestryfe, was to destroy this Kraken. And you did it. So we'll give you a cool 5,000 XP, because you're only on level 7, which actually should probably bump you up to 8, but we can get there when we get there. So in total, Troy, give yourself 13,500. So 8,500 for the Kraken, 5,000 for the quest.
Yes.
I'm like 4,000 away from being level 11.
You guys are getting close. Yeah, this will be a nice little boost to Calliope because you're the lowest just by a little bit because we've been power leveling you, and so now you're kind of evening out a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, I paid my dues.
You did. You died plenty of times, and that is the cost of power leveling. But they all saved you.
It's okay, she'll get back in.
Yes. All right. So out through this fireplace teleports, boom, 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 boom. 6 people. 5 of them look very similar. I showed you guys pictures last week of these snow elves. They are wind whipped, pretty much looking very similar to Ren Firestryfe, except without all the scorched, blackened burn marks. Their hair, which is pretty pristine, very, very pretty much straight and perfect, like an elf. A little disheveled, wind whipped. Sand has hit them. Water. They're all drenched, pretty much. and they all have broomsticks, either in their hands or clattering to the ground around them. Some of them broken. Just 5 broomsticks that they were on as they come flying through. Most of them look out of breath. They don't look too combat, hardened, battle hardened. They look just kind of tired and exhausted. Very much conscious, though. The only one unconscious is this character, Ren, that you don't actually know his name. You just see this half-orc laying on the ground. What would you guys like to do?
Does that happen a lot here? People just come tumbling out of your fireplace. The more I learn about you, Ezra, the less I actually like you. There's the time for sword now.
You'll have to excuse the... pardon the interruption. These are the other members of the Deciders. They were on a mission, and I hope succeeded. And he looks at one of them, and he's like out of breath, sitting on, like kind of resting on one knee. No, sire. The Kraken, it destroyed Westwind. We destroyed it, but not after grave loss. We couldn't stop it in time. And Hezron looks back at him. And of Prince Sharpwood. He doesn't say anything, but just shakes his head and looks up at Hezron. Good.
You just killed the Kraken?
Yes. It was a valiant combat. One fought by not us, but him, and he motions to the half-orc, who's pretty much on the ground, seized up.
We just came from the other side. And some fight happened so ago. Not too. Actually, how long has it been? Because we got the quest with the predators, right? And then we were west or we were
Last season, you got the quest to clean up Westwind and basically scavenge the Kraken and strip it for or strip it for it makes it sound like a mechanical main. Harvest the organs and different parts of ink sac and all that of the Kraken. That was one of your quests, and to kind of help clean up Westwind, but also get these valuable items. That was before this season even started, and there was a 3-month jump between the 2 seasons. So it's been for the the Predators was after. Yeah. The Beast Hunters. Yeah. It was one of the quests. You guys never took it. You just saw the contract of it was an option, and you guys were like, "Nah, let's go." Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, if you guys remember, it was time sensitive, and you had other pressing matters, so that you were kind of like, "Well, we are going to go this direction." Yeah. The client, yeah. Yep. quick, Ren, can you roll a death saving throw for me?
Oh, shoot, we should save him.
Oh, he's like dying. He's not unconscious.
Yeah, I guess.
He's
Can I
actively
roll like a perception check as to like how alive he looks?
It would be medicine, yes. You go over to him and you examine him with your medicine roll.
Okay, he's like. It's a 19. Love that reaction.
Okay. The wounds appear to be wounded. He appears to be wounded by lightning. You are trying to get a pulse, and you're actually not. It seems like his heart is stopped, and the scorch marks are just kind of like blackened and kind of veiny down his arms, down his chest. Yeah, they appear to be lightning, like he was struck by lightning and kind of whipped around. He's got like kind of like squelchy goo on him. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Okay. I'll go ahead then. For now, I will cast Cure Wounds at a second level. Can you just see that? 7 on the first.
Okay.
So it'll be 25 each. He gets back.
Okay. All right. Ren, go ahead and put yourself back at 25 HP, and you are stabilized. As you cast Cure Wounds, you kind of assess the situation. You notice that he's not. You check for a pulse, and there's no pulse, and you just immediately close your eyes as your shield glows with its symbol of Kalimvor glowing faintly, and you feel the radiant energy course through your hand and into his chest. You hold it there for a second, and boom, 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 boom. You feel his heart resurge and stabilize. And Ren, you feel this warm sensation wash through you as you take a breath. There's quite a bit of water in your lungs, as I think you were battling in like waist deep water at that point. And so you're coughing up. You just roll over and you're just coughing up cold water. One second you were in a sandy pitch, this arena surrounded by all these cheering fans cheering you on as you just won the Quidditch championship. And the next you were fighting this Kraken, slicing and dicing. You get electrocuted, you're out, you're laying in water, and then you open your eyes and all of a sudden you're in this like log cabin, warm, still soaking wet, and you're hurting, but you're alive, coughing up water. And you're surrounded by the snow elves that were all on their broomsticks. You recognize them, but you don't recognize the 4 females, as well as there's 3 other males in the room that you don't recognize. That's Hezron, Xander, and Xerxes.
Where am I? Where is it? Where is it?
Is he like actively looking for something?
Look around. Is there like a door? The Kraken. Where's the Kraken?
It sounds like maybe they defeated it. That's good. That's good news. Bad news is not before it destroyed a city. And apparently it was killing you. I hear it was
Kind of recognize the snow elves. You were there. What happened?
You sliced many of its tentacles off. You were glorious in combat, as were your compatriots. We held it off as long as we could, the tidal wave. The genie, it seems, used the water from Kepling Lake to flood the city of Westwind. We held it off as long as we could by freezing it, stopping it on all edges, containing it within the arena, but we could only do so much, as we had to focus on that while the Kraken destroyed most of that part of Westwind. We barely made it out alive.
I kind of look around. Glenn, Diesel, where's the rest of my party?
I'm sorry. They were eaten. Glenn and the goaltender, Aquarius, was it? They were swallowed whole by the Kraken. Isolde was... well, I saw her blade with my own eyes strike purchase on Prince Sharpwood himself, rendering him asunder. She was.
I'm so kind of dazed and confused, and it's like in denial, you know. It can't. No, there's no way. I'm terrified. Where's the genie now?
The genie took his sister, and they left. Teleported. We are all that's left. I'm not sure how many citizens of Westwind made it out alive. Barely anyone had time to flee the arena before the lake was summoned. The entire lake, the entire body of water of Kepling Lake, by that genie's magic. He was coerced by the prince. And the man you're talking to is just a visual aspect. He's got these refined, elegant white robes, kind of paler skin, pointed ears, silver white hair that kind of fades into like some light blue, blue eyes flecked with gold spots. He's pretty much the only one without blue face tattoos. Everyone else kind of has them, except for Hezron. Really easy eyes, strong jaw.
Ezra, how is it that they're just now returning from something that happened in real time 4 months ago?
Time works in mysterious ways in the Genesis, in the Feywild as a whole. We are called the Deciders because events like this we are able to jump to and from. If I could explain how time works in the Feywild, I would be a god. I am not.
I'm still kind of dazed and confused. I'm like, just reflecting. I remember fighting the Kraken. Water, ice, everywhere. Flash of lightning. Nothing. Is the Kraken truly dead?
It was mortally wounded by the time you and your companions were finished with it. We made one last-ditch effort as all of us, and he looks around at the group of other kind of exasperated snow elves. Three women and 2 guys in this group. And it says we all took one final shot at it, pulled our magicka together, and destroyed the Kraken once and for all. Its tentacles fell limp. And it was because of you all. We just put the finishing blow on it. We confirmed its death, and before anyone could ask questions, we left.
lean over to Solar and go, if I died, would you cry? Would that make you think sad?
Come on, trust me. Come on, horse. It'll never be your time.
That's when you move me back as a zombie, that's
Yeah, I got it. Big. We're done. Yeah. We'll do whatever we have to. A singing zombie. People would love that. They would pay to see it.
They would, you can bring me back to Phantasma, but I'd make big bucks.
I think that's definitely where you belong. Yes.
Did we get half-orc's name yet?
You did not.
Sorry. This is horrible. Like, feeling really bad. Definitely probably gonna write music about it because that's very strong, sad power ballad. But anyway, we are the Wenches of Waydora. We've heard tale of what happened to you. Again, really sucks. Voldrick, Dragon, Leia, Voldrick, and also, and I'm gonna motion kind of behind me, and everybody's introduce themselves.
I am Xander, and this is Xerxes. You see a man in wearing all black and red armor with a cloak over his head. Kind of steps forward after there's a bit of an awkward pause and decides to be the first. And as he points backward to Xerxes, you see a African American gentleman who's very quiet, red eyes, same kind of garb, black and red clothing. Has just a stoic stone look. Doesn't really, I mean, it kind of gives you a slow nod, but other than that, doesn't do much. And they kind of step back.
If you're speaking, Mina, there's no sound happening.
I'm not. Sorry, the mama just had home the dogs. Is Anya gonna go in?
Anya just standing there looking standoffish.
You guys do whatever order you want.
I gotta read the bag. Okay. I'll like step forward a little bit and wave slightly quietly.
With this wizard that you meet, you also see this cat kind of come out from you don't even know where, but like comes in between her legs and kind of is like nudging up on her, and all of a sudden disappears and teleports to the left side of her foot, and then kind of like glitches. Just this glitchy. She kind of nuzzles up into your hand and glitches a couple more times. It's just like this blurry, really blurry image. Troy, have you ever seen is it Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second one with that blurry, that all white like cloaked figure? She's like, yeah, it's that. She's just like glitching in and out of existence.
Gotcha. I guess is that the end of the introductions?
If no one else wants to, I mean, you had.
I'm gonna motion to Amber and be like, that's Lara, she brought you back to life. Very cool of her. Really, really strong.
I'm Anya. And just like, she was so irritating face, like taking era.
Like,
So like,
her training
spiky,
montage was epic.
paint, like braided hair, just like.
Red spiderweb thong. It's Baldur's Gate, the Baldur's Gate thong. I thought I'd clarify that.
Alright. I kind of look up, like, looking down on my hands, and I'm looking up to Mira's though. Ren Firestryfe. And I kind of go back, look down at my hands. Disbelief. Voldrick's gonna be like,
Mm.
I'd be like, I literally have a song written about you. And I'm assuming then the entirety of your party, which, by the way, rest in peace. Again, really, truly awful. But immortalized, really, through song. And I'm just going to pull out, like, all 5 of the Glenwood unicorns.
I forgot about this.
Just, like, rifling through them. I mean, like, you know, most of the limericks aren't very good, and they're not very correct, but this one's pretty fucking dope. It talks about you having something called the flame tongue blade.
Yeah, I kind of look over to my side. The sword half-heartedly. Yeah, this right here.
As he holds it up, it ignites with this flame that just kind of shoots out into this green blade. The blade no longer even being seen, just consumed in green flame.
You know, I had a cool sword once. Like, literally, a couple hours ago, I had a cool sword. Now it's gone, but that's okay. That's okay.
Nice job about your sword holder. How's that tap your shoulder?
It's fine.
Rest in
It's a
peace.
cool sword. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you know, this is so lovely. This is really so great. We should move on to the prison because my previous concerns of us standing here in a potential war zone still stand very deeply. Though just really great to meet you all.
If there's something else we need to do,
Please.
I'm gonna take this night's talking sword. I don't think there's anything else we have to do. I can negotiate it to take the talking sword to sleep.
we'll find you a sword. Who knows? Maybe the anomaly will come back and leave the sword for us after she takes her revenge.
You see, Hezron steps forward and says, I will take care of matters here. Please make haste with your quest to Stonehaven. Calamity has been in imprisonment for quite some time, and it is of vital importance that he returns to us all in one piece, upon which time I will disclose with you all the locations of the remaining elemental rings as per our agreement. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the deciders and discuss next steps with Westwind and the next world-changing event. You know where to find me. Dawnward. It was. By the way, do you all know where you're going to Stonehaven?
We've just been mostly operating off of vibes. But if you have like a map,
Vibes is the way here in the Feywild, so you're in luck. In Genesis, the general vibe, the general sense of direction, if you will, to Stonehaven from here is Tangleword. So, proceed.
Let's get getting.
The way of the Tangle, of course.
Okay, yes. Is that like left, right, east, west? Just kind of under that way. We'll figure it out.
Follow the sunset and go left.
Okay.
Tangleword.
I take that really literally and very seriously.
As you should. I waved. All right. What next?
I've broken out of prison before. No. You know, if anybody's going to get arrested, I feel like it's someone in this party, which we're proxy rather than everyone get arrested and break out of the prison.
Someone
Knowing they won't expect breaking into the prison.
there is one person in this current party who has much experience with a prison break. Isn't that right, Troy?
Have you ever broken out of a fucking prison?
Is that actually directed at me?
Yeah, as you guys are kind of leaving the I'll set up the scene and then you can talk. You kind of leave the cabin at this point, heading back the way you came out through the city of Vori with these tiny huts. It's this very snowy landscape, kind of nestled in between two very snowy mountains. As you make your way out, there's a bit of a wind that picks up, snowing lightly. You are heading towards the sunset to get out of the city, and Ren, they ask you, have you ever broken out of a prison before? And that's where you begin your conversation as you guys are walking away from the city. Following Voldrick, apparently.
That's never happens.
Actually, yes, I have broken out of prison before with my friends. Look down while depressed.
You know, it really was like kind of sarcastic when I asked, but I love that you do have experience in this.
We'll see. We had broken out of prison, but I don't know. Not sure about the experience about breaking into. But I will say the key will probably be distraction, which was successful for us breaking it, and the way that we broke out was my bag of beans.
I'm sorry. Let's backtrack just a little bit. Bag of beans sounds very ominous. What is a bad word? Sidewalk?
I totally forgot about that.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. And this special bag of beans that, if planted, they do quite distracting things, which, like I said, will be probably key to breaking into this.
That sounds right up my alley. Where the fuck did you find this bag?
We went
Where did you find that bag of beans? That's the question.
into the she-demon that they have.
The she-demon?
You remember?
Was it the chick who was your stalker?
No, it was the. Who was that? She was like a demon chick. She was like in the dungeon or something. She was not even. We battled.
The Lamia and the Cambions?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, one of the.
Part of her treasure trove type thing.
Yeah, yep.
Seems so extensive and fun.
It was in the Temple of Grazd,
That's what it was. Yep.
fighting a Lamia and Cambions in their lair.
It's yeah, kind of a long story, but let's say
You
treasure.
know, magic beans is great. I love that. We also have lots of fun little doodads. I have a pipe that can summon a horde of rats, and that also sounds very distracting. So, between the magic beans and the rats and the gems of all truly, how bad could it be to make it to a prison?
I will
5 Calliope quotes right there.
We just stopped using that.
It could do a great thing this time.
High risk, high reward, which is really.
Or it could take all of the person's magical items. I don't think we should touch it. Oh, I don't want to
We
deal with
really
it.
didn't usually get after that, did we? Because it was very sad. It was very sad take for me.
Think we got
So
knocked?
shit. Yeah, we did. We got knocked. So high risk, high reward. Though I don't know if you would call knocks a risk or a reward in that situation. Maybe risk.
Dang, is Anya here for this? Dragging your man through the mud, Charlotte.
That ain't her man. Nick noticed it's her man.
Dang.
Either with us doing it also.
Wait, do you want to come with us to go and run a prison break?
I look around like,
What else do you got going on right now?
yeah, I don't know what else to do. The Kraken was my life's goal, and now that my friends are gone as well, I have no direction. So
It's not the kill list. You have to add multiple targets to your life goals, really, to keep it fun, interesting. But yeah, just make another goal. And maybe your short-term goal right now is breaking into a prison and helping us to free things we can steal this fancy ring.
I'll do whatever. The Kraken is most welcome.
How far are we from, like, are we still in the village? Or, like, left at this point?
It's a pretty small village. It doesn't take long to leave it. In fact, you're like kind of towards the entrance. You turn around and there's no village at all. You're just in the middle of this snowy mountain, foresty area. Very strange. It's like it never existed.
I'm gonna look at it and be like, no, I got some information from my memories. And I'll like the short, like, burst that I got, and be like, and apparently, Lemon's my brother. I don't know how he got up here. And I'm not speaking loudly, but I'm not, like, super whispering, but I don't want to, like, broadcast where our love work would appear. Like, I don't know how we got here. Some stuff is still blurry, but I do know that this pomegranate was his hat, and
Do you know without a family?
but my memories are like feathers, so
That's good.
mostly no stabbing involved.
He'd probably be so much more willing to give us his fancy ring. And which means maybe we won't have to cut off any fingers. Which would be nice.
If there push comes to shove, I just will purchase something that would take for enemies.
And a headache after years. Well, let's try to avoid the cutting off fingers.
I would prefer if you don't cut off my mother's fingers.
Though I will say, yeah, you donate all your fingers. And it could be kind of cool for him to be known as Calamity Nine Fingers. We're gonna do our best not to cut off fingers. I'm so sorry. And we can't take it truly.
It'll be fun. We just gotta get him out of prison first. Which I've never been to prison, so
You know, you don't need to tell me that. It's like, it's not the next scene gone. Stone walls. Stinky.
it's not fun.
thanks.
So as you all converse and follow Valdric Tangleward, which who knows what that means to Valdric, but Valdric, some things are kind of jogging your memory from your time here with Lilith and Orangelo. You're like, I feel like I've vaguely heard that time before. Tanglewood, yes. You're kind of having these thoughts that were in the deepest, blackest corners of your brain that were locked away and you haven't heard them since the last time you were in the Feywild, which you don't even really remember. But it's like it's this feeling. You're like, yeah, I feel like it's this way. As you're all Ren Firestryfe with your now just recently lived trauma, going from one traumatic event to finding yourself with a completely new group, mourning the loss of your old group, bittersweet ending, knowing that your lifelong goal of defeating the Kraken, growing up in this gladiator pit called the Kraken Killers, that their entire life devotion was to training for this inevitable day when this 1,000-year-old ancient being would awaken, and everyone made fun of them all their lives until now. Look who's laughing. The Kraken has returned and the Kraken is dead. You have this kind of newfound spark within you, and kind of feel like you maybe owe it to this group for their cleric saving you, and you decide to strap your boots on and continue on. There's really not much else for you to do in this.
Where's my HP at after that? I know you said at 25 when I first got.
25 out of whatever your maximum is, and that is
Is that still it?
on your character sheet. Yeah, whatever your max was. So it's going to be 25 because you were at 0. So it's, yeah, you guys haven't rested at all yet. So it's going to be at 25 until you either heal more or rest. So that'll be up to you guys. But Valdrick, I would like you to make a survival check.
I was literally just about to say I'm going to step aside so that I'm on but
Or however you guys want to do it. However you guys want to do it.
it wasn't bad.
Okay. You exit the village of Vori, turn around, and it's like it was never there. It's just mountain range and valleys and snow-covered wood. You turn back around, and it's the same thing. The only thing guiding you is the sunset, the never-ending sunset of the Feywild. Always just barely on the cusp of sunset, the purple and oranges of the sky that are created from the sunset. And that's your bearing. That's your North Star. And so you see Valdrick kind of turn around, do kind of like a Jack Sparrow, looking at his compass. No one knows what the heck's going on in his brain, but he knows. He knows. And kind of licks her finger, maybe pulls her DOS flute out, plays a little ditty. And you guys are all just kind of like, just let her cook. She turns back around, faces the sunset, kind of angles herself left, and does, with a long reach of her leg, does a march and starts marching. And you all... And you guys continue trudging through the snow, following Valdrick, kind of still keeping up your conversation. You get to a point where you're no longer going over hills and valleys and up and down. You're finally like leveling out, and you check up once in a while. You see the sunset. You keep going. The snow, the quick whip of the wind and the snow around you has kind of subsided to the point where it's a little bit calmer. You guys can actually kind of hear your conversations with one another. You hear kind of some mutterings between Xander and Xerxes once in a while. Xerxes is giving some serious bombastic side-eye. Probably you've counted 6 times by now, Ren, to you only. And Xander is kind of like shushing him and telling him to chill out. You catch him once in a while, just like giving you the stink eye. Kind of sussing you out in a very non-socially acceptable way. Just he's socially awkward. He's not subtle. But you guys continue until you the landscape around you comes to life as you hear distant creatures in the distance, leaves rustling. The area around you becomes more wooded, a slight mist about it, and you hear the chirping of the night sounds. However, it's still sunset, so it's a very strange setting. You're hearing wolves howl, owls hoot, crickets, other creatures that you don't know. You can't pinpoint what exactly just made that noise. Some sort of mythical creature, but things that go bump in the night that are occurring during sunset. Very strange. As you find yourself coming upon this wooded area, and it just goes on for miles, and Valdrick kind of stops at the edge, looks around, and enters the wood, which she thinks this is the edge, of kind of where this forest starts. She takes a step forward. No problem at all. What you guys see is Valdrick walk into this mist that, Valdrick, you don't see because you're in the mist. The rest of you see this Valdrick walk into this mist and is gone.
I know where the fuck I'm going. I don't know about you guys, but right on in there.
Can I call out to her? Aldrich? Aldrich?
Do I hear her?
You call out to her, but Valdrick, you do not hear, and you hear no response.
This is why you should always be leaving us. That is true. I feel
Baldur's
true.
actively, still
Take
holding a
your
conversation as if everyone's still behind her. Yeah, well, it's been a while since I've been here, but I just feel really strongly about where I'm going. I'm very proud of myself. It's been a really long time since I've been able to navigate without a map or a compass. I feel this is good for me.
Can I tell if this is some sort of magic? It probably isn't. Wait, what? Like, if it's a spell. If it's a spell, like a fire spell or something.
You're proficient in Arcana because you're a wizard. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
$27.
27. Yeah, seems sus. The whole wood as a whole doesn't seem like you're in Kansas anymore. As far as something specific to counterspell or something specific to detect magic, you would have to cast those spells to find out the results. But just basic vibe check with your Arcana seems not a normal forest.
I'm gonna annoyedly just keep going the direction that Valdrick was going.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try ice powers. I've seen this before. Try ice powers.
You guys hesitate as you see Solara. You see Calliope kind of scan the area around, and before anyone can say anything, Solara takes a step forward, is swallowed by the mist. Valdrick, Solara appears right behind you and missed everything that you just said. You were just having this conversation.
Did you hear me? So did
Here before our eyes.
why are you
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I just can.
Yes! I had to keep following you! I didn't even know that I would keep following you! I just kept going in your tracks.
Deeply confessing.
Okay, well, let me tell you. I don't see anyone else here yet, so.
Well, I don't know why y'all didn't follow me. I told you I knew where I was going.
I mean, we were following. We'll see. Hopefully the others follow.
As soon as she says that,
On
I
the
think I
other end.
Sorry, go ahead. I think I want to just perception check real quick around me.
Yeah, you turn back around, and there's there's a little bit of fog here and there, but you turn back around and you're like, wait a minute, where actually is anyone? And you're expecting to see, the mountain range and then the line of the forest as it started. It's just forest, the same as in front of you, and it's like you've been here. It's like you've been in this walking through this forest for miles, but you know you only took maybe 30 steps, and you turn around, you're like, wait, none of your friends are in sight.
Oh, great. Can I roll perception just to like see if there's anybody around us or anything notable that I'm like, what the fuck, aside from the fact that nobody's around?
Yeah, go for it.
18 plus 8, which is 27. Yes.
It is a forest. You turn, yeah, you turn around to see like where your friends came from. That's weird. You turn back around and the landscape is like kind of changed again, and it's now even more like this dense fog. You can still see through the fog. It's not like, you know, only 10 feet in front of you and you're blind. It's just kind of just lingering. And with a 20, you said 26? Okay. Hold that thought. Everyone else, you see Xander and Xerxes just walk straight on through the mist, right behind Solara. Okay. She glitches a bit, but isn't teleporting around like normal. She kind of disappears and reappears in place, but still remains in your grasp. It's a weird sensation. It's like you're holding a cat and you give it support so that its hind legs feel supported on your arm, and so you're like, all right, I have it secured, and then all of a sudden it disappears, reappears, and it loses its traction, and it does that over and over again, and it's very frustrating for both you and the cat. Ren, everyone has gone through the mist at this point.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't? That's just you two then. Steps through the mist. Alright, you all step through the mist, and you see Solara and Valdric on the other side. Valdric, with your 26, you guys see Valdric step and then stop herself. What I should have done a year ago before I fell into that 10-foot pit and broke my foot. Stops. It was... Yeah. Stops and looks down, and you look down, Valdric, into just a black pit of nothing. It's like probably like a 2 foot by 2 foot, or 2 foot in circumference circle, hole in the ground. It's maybe wide enough to fit someone in, but it's about this wide. Is this 2 feet? Yeah, it's about 2 feet. Like the purple worm that you guys fought, or the
Feeling very purple tremor.
Make a nature check. As Valdric stumbles, you definitely all see Valdric kind of come to a stop, and then you redirect, and you all are able, depending on how close you are, you see that she's looking down into something. You said 18?
I feel like I should get a +1 to it based off of my innate fear of giant worms.
Your trauma or
Based on my worm trauma.
Based on that, so... With your experience coming across these worms beneath Eastwind, what was his name? The Ankheg, if you remember, Ankheg going from, was it like Lindhelm to Dread Island underneath the ocean? That entire
The entire time.
tunnel was dug out by the Yonkeg. This is not. This doesn't appear to be creature made. It's not like the edges are kind of ribbed, and the edges of the tunnels that you're used to from the worm and the Ankeg were like ribbed, and you could see claw marks. This is just almost like a perfect circle of just black. Yeah, you find a rock. The rock that you pick up? The rock or the hole? Make an Arcana check. It does seem unnatural in the way that it's shaped, and you're kind of listening to Valdrick mutter under her breath about the Yonkeg and the worm, and it's not them, and you're just like, it's not this, you know, muttering things. You look down into it, and you don't see an end, and you feel like, given the decent sunlight from the never-ending sunset, you should see at least something, but it's like, even on the edge of 1 feet, 2 feet down, you should see something. Like the edges, the inside of the ground, you don't see anything. It seems magical in nature. Okay, so the rock is like the size of like a baseball or something. Okay, so you drop the rock into the hole. And you're like leaning over, kind of watching it. As soon as you drop the rock and it passes the threshold, it's swallowed by darkness. You don't see it go down. Even with the light that you've cast on it, gone. Complete sealed. It's like a black seal over top, and it's just gone. And
I'm gonna cast dance lights down there also, just to see if there's anything.
okay, so you drop this rock. You're like, You pull your spellbook back open, and you start flipping the page to dancing lights. And as you pull your wand out, out of nowhere from the sky, the same rock that has light cast on it, boom, smacks into you. I want you to make a dexterity roll. It's gonna hit either your head or the spellbook in your hand, or if you're high enough, you get out of the way. I'm gonna say that's a fail for the purposes of this, because this rock is cruising. So red, it hits you in the head. Blue, it hits your spellbook. Okay, it is blue. The rock that you just dropped and cast light on smacks the edge, the spine of your spellbook. Your spellbook flips, falls into the pit before you can grab it.
When can we see it appear?
I'm gonna look at everybody and go, please grab that. Reduce quietly.
After
I have counter spell prepared and I pass without one. I still have my wand.
your wand is your spellcasting focus. I don't know. I don't know. I would say it takes about 6 seconds for this book to come back, and you wouldn't have enough time to gather your materials to cast whatever you're trying to cast. So this book comes flying, not as fast as the rock because it's got a bit of.
Hold out my hand. I'm gonna take any damage that happens for this. I'm gonna yoink her back. Our little last minute. I'm gonna yoink her back, and I'm gonna go deck.
Okay.
Like NFL, black
Any damage from the bug.
Calliope, the desperate wizard, losing her core meat of her wizardness, is just waiting for this book. Gets yoinked back by the collar as Anya comes up and is just like kind of looking. And after a couple of seconds of awkwardness, finally this book comes. The page is flying all over the place. Still intact. It's not falling as fast as the rock because it's got a little bit of wind resistance with it flapping open. But it's coming, it's moving. So Anya, I need to make. Why don't you make a sleight of hand check to see if you can like. You're trying to gauge its trajectory. If you want to help, you can. I don't know what I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could. What'd you get, Anya?
You rolled a 13 plus 34, so 16.
Okay.
I'm watching this and pulling out counter spelling the next one.
Both the rock and the spellbook come flying down. The rock comes slightly before the spellbook, smacks one of your hands. As you pull away, the spellbook comes, and you basically just kind of block it from going through the hole again and kind of redirect it out of the hole. And so you don't catch it, but it falls to the ground. You do take your hand, just that rock smacking your hand, your wrist, right on the bone. You are going to take 2d6 of bludgeoning damage. It's 9 bludgeoning damage as the rock comes back for another pass.
I'm gonna go pick it up. I'll look at on it. Don't thank you, Anya.
Yeah, that would have shattered your wrist. Calliope would have been. You might have died. How many hit points do you have? Yeah, that's gonna kill you.
I have 69 hit points.
Nice. So you see your spellbook come flying, halting to a stop on the ground next to you guys, next to the hole, and it's open spine up, and you run over and gather it up.
I'm dusting it off with damages.
Yeah,
Is this just blocking our entire path? Is it just like
it's just a hole that Valdric somehow found without falling into.
Are there more holes?
Make a perception check.
perception checks?
Sure.
26. Wait. Plus 1. What's a hole? So 13.
19.
All right. I'll say Solara, Valdric, and Ren kind of scout the area again, and scattered about probably every 20, 30, 40 or so feet, you see these more holes. Some of them big, like 5 feet in circumference. Some of them like 25 feet in circumference. Some of them itty bitty. It's random.
If I get rid of blood pool, will it get rid of them?
I mean, that's something that we're probably gonna have to look for. Right?
Yeah, it would be.
Do these feel like avoidable holes? Like we can
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of space in between each of these holes. It's probably like an average of 40 feet in between each hole. You know, some of them are anomalies and are pretty close to each other, but
It's so strange. It almost looks like somebody was digging for something. But the shooting things into the sky pop really defeats that.
It's like the, what was it? Not the lake probably was out.
Yeah, let's just do a little conga line. Get out, lose the fuck out of here.
I have counterspell prepared.
okay. You guys continue on. The mist around you just becoming eerie and creepy as it becomes a little more dense, a little more thick, a little bit harder to see. You walk on, you continue on for quite a while now that you've discovered these strange gravity-defying holes. You're careful to step in between them, and you kind of let Valdrick take the lead, I guess. You kind of all serpentine behind her to make sure that you're all following the same track, avoiding these holes as best you can. You do have to walk a bit slower because you're taking your time, but there's no risk, as if like you were like running blindly. So you're avoiding these holes, and in the distance, you hear.
Get closer to that sound. If I look around, can I see someone just plummeting over and over again from the sky?
You do see zoom, 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 and just over and over again. And with each pass, it gets slightly faster. Zoom, zoom. It is. You see, it's some sort of creature. You can barely make out the words "help me" as it's plummeting, but it's just a blur at this point. You can't even make out any real features at this point through the mist and with the speed.
How the fuck do we go to
Jump across.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that one to you, babe. Oh, I've got fly. I can cast fly on you. And then you can just fly right in and just intercept. I'm gonna cast fly on Anya.
That's what counterspell
Save the spells. Fly comes with windows.
And what if you counterspell it? I like to see it try.
Do we feel like there's like a feeling of the hole that's like sucking things down?
But I wasn't passive fire for
Let's see what happens once we slay
All right, so we guys. Okay. And I should have made Calliope do this earlier, but I'll let her pass. Valdrick, I need you to roll. I need you to roll a D100 for me. A D, both your D10s. I know you. I know you have those.
What you just said to me. Aldrich disapproves. Okay, 81. Is this wild magic?
Does anyone know what page the wild magic table's on?
I have it
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's in Player's Handbook. Maybe it is for. It's probably I think in Warlock. Oh my gosh! I flipped right to it. 104. Roll a D100 for me. Okay. Okay. You cast Fly on Anya, and you can take. By the time that you cast Fly, you can also take one immediate action for free. It's like boom boom. Not it kind of doesn't.
Finger gun Fly, and then I'm gonna double cheek smack on her way up for Fly to give her bardic inspo.
Okay. Yeah, you double cheek smack, quick whip out a loot, and it's like a warp speed cast, like all in one motion. You guys see this like blur.
That's the fastest I've ever moved in my life. That was. Do I know that was magic surge, or do I feel like I just
You had it in your brain to do all that, and it happened twice as fast. And when you did it, you were like, "Whoa!" It's like Spider-Man when he first gets his powers. You're like, "Whoa!"
start trying to move as fast as I can again. See if I can replicate it.
It doesn't replicate.
Keep it up, baby. You're doing great.
So Anya, you have the power of flight right now.
I'm gonna stand and try to time it and try to just go sideways. But I'm gonna, instead of having to like jump until I get enough, I'll just use the blade to move myself. So I can just go straight across.
Okay. I would say this is kind of a weird roll. I would say either acrobatics or sleight of hand, whichever is higher for you. Okay. So you're kind of you fly up there, you're kind of watching him me, and you're kind of like mentally you see Anya kind of close her eyes like Rain Man counting, getting a rhythm, and then lunge forward. Would you roll?
21.
Okay. Help me! And he just boom, he smacks into him, into his torso. The both of you go flying, and I would say go tumbling to a halt. But you have flight on you, but you're also now receiving the momentum of this creature over and over again. So I'll say you take 2 more d6 of bludgeoning as you both kind of roll to the ground. So you're going to take 9. I'm rolling high for this bludgeoning rolls. 9 points of fall damage as you both kind of fall and tumble to the ground. You realize it is the quickling creature that you guys encountered a few sessions ago. That small little weirdo. He's got like the long tail of like a weird, not hair. Yeah, I think it's his hair kind of in one, like the hairstyle of the Rocket in Pokemon, the 2 Rocket people. You know what I mean? Jesse, Rocket, whatever. Got that like long. Anyways, short little dude. I think blue skinned, quickling that was playing pranks on you guys. The very same. He looks a little bit beaten. If you guys remember, he was captured and interrogated by those weird looking cloaked figures while you guys were hiding in the lake. So you guys kind of go rushing over to Anya, careful to avoid any of the crazy looking holes, and you see the quickling. You hit him so hard he's unconscious. So you say, we have questions for you. He's just... No, you would have.
Tie him up to something, right? Probably. What's his name?
Okay. All right, you tie him to a tree. You use some of your rope to tie him to a tree.
I'm just gonna kneel in front of him with just like hitting my thumbs at my sunlight. Just like staring at him.
Okay. You wait a while. Help me! Help! 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 Ah! 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 He's trying to like budge. Ah! And you see his eyes like a one of those freaking jackpot machines you would see at Vegas, just the eyes going, because he's still adjusting. He's still adjusting because he must have been falling for quite some time. Hold still. Hold still, please. And he just barfs.
How long you been doing the big drop, my man?
And it's just coming down the sides of his mouth. He can't wipe it or anything because his hands are tied. You're the people from the lake. Boy, am I glad to see you. Oh, you've been falling for quite some time. Quite some time. You've been falling for quite some time. Must have slipped. Hello.
What goes in these holes?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember them the last time I was here. Let me go. Why am I tied up? Who tied me up? He's trying to like wipe his vomit on his shirt.
Answer a question.
What?
I'm gonna answer a question. I'll send you right back.
Please, I've already done this once today. Please, I've already answered all the questions I can. I don't know where she went. I don't know who they are. Please, let me go.
The we that you're talking about, and is she the one from the lake?
Actually, yes. Oh, goody. I have the answer to one of the questions. Here they are. I found them. Now, you said that woman in the lake. Yes, I saw her. Didn't see where she went. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told those stone cloaks. Don't have no idea where they went. No idea.
Because the we is us, and we already left, but now we're here, and we're talking to you. Isn't that so great? Who were the men that asked you the other question?
It is so great. I can't feel my hands. I'll be honest with you. But I'll try my best. They had the cloaks on. They were made out of stone. They were asking, where is she? Where is she? I said, I don't know. I'm just a wee lad. And they beat me, and they punched me, and they whipped me, and they tore me, and they took me to some dark dungeon, and in some prison cell. And of course, it
Prison.
wasn't hard for me to escape.
You're in prison right now. Do you remember when they took you when they did the terrible things?
Oh, I was blacked out for the entire ride, but I'm assuming Stonehaven, based on the fact that they're storm cloaks.
You know how to get into the prison.
They're a bunch of douchebags. What'd you say? To the prison? Tanglewood, obviously.
Are we moving Tanglewood right now?
Yes. No. Yes. Yes.
How did you get out of the
Oh, they didn't. I wish I could say yes, but I tripped and fell. Like I said, these holes were not here the last time I was in the Veilwood. So, I've had a really bad day. I thank you for saying that. I've had a really bad day, and I'd like to wipe my mouth. And I wouldn't ask you to wipe my mouth for me, but I would really like some water or something, please. I've got a very fast metabolism.
About a quarter of my level 2 thing, then just throw it out. I'm like,
The math is casting spell, but I'm not sure how
I've
visitation.
and if anyone has any sort of food or some meat, I've got the metabolism, the speed of a displacer beast. If you know, no, you don't. Of course not. That's
What's your name?
Skippy. What's your name?
Look like a Skippy.
I am a Skippy. That's my name. I'm just a wee lad, just making my way through the Feywild, trying to avoid the war between the Fey and, you know.
berries and cream, berries.
Berries and cream, berries.
I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream, yes. Do you have any? I'm famished. Rather famished. Most of the contents of my stomach are what you see before you. The one ration is on the ropes that you've tied me with. So good luck untying them. I didn't mean that. Please let me go. I'm begging you.
Do we need anything else from you?
Don't you get out? I just didn't want to know.
All these questions at the same time, I'm going to barf again. I'm not going to lie to you. How did I get out of the prison? I'm a speedy little quickster. How do you think? I'm a tiny little boy. Just zhong! I just took off. They didn't even. They blinked and I was gone. They didn't even know. They probably still didn't even know I'm gone. Bunch of fools. What was the question that the scary one with the mask said? Oh, that's eye makeup. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Skippy. What? You know there's a dragon on your back, right? That's not news to you. That's. Does anyone? Am I? Is.
And you are a fairy tied to a tree. There's a lot of things happening right now, Skippy.
If you're not official, you know where you start asking around.
We can always take a foot and then you can call Liberty.
No, not me foot. That's the only means of getting around the Feywild as fast and as quickly as I do. Please keep me foot.
The stormcloaks.
Stone cloaks, you're thinking of Skyrim. I've heard it's a beautiful land this time of year, anyways.
The Stonecloaks.
Yes, the stone cloaks.
Why did they want to know about us?
I don't think they really wanted to know about you. I think they really wanted to know about the girl that you were all with. They guilty by association. That's why I stayed out of it, but they beat me nonetheless. I am losing feeling in my left hand, but I'll answer this one more question. Their business with her. All of the elementals apparently have business with her. I hear things. I'm very speedy. I'm very quick. I'm all around the Genesis. I hear things. And everywhere I go, I've been around all sorts of elementals. Earth, wind, fire, water, ice, thunder, storm, elementals, all sorts. And they all say the same thing. The anomaly. The anomaly is power. The anomaly is a source of wealth, wonder. The anomaly. We must imprison her. No, we must free her. We must train her. No, we must absorb her power. No, we must do this and that. And it seems like she's just being pulled in all sorts of directions, kind of caught in the middle of this war. Wrong place, wrong time. And now I'm tied up again. That I meant for myself. Yes. Well, she probably. I really can't feel my hands. Okay.
Like, did you see anybody else in the prison? Was there a blonde-haired elf?
A blonde-haired elf, you say? Yes. They called him Kapoopy? Calamity. That's it. That's right. You've beaten the Scottish into me. I've lost all sense of me English. Calamity. Yes, that sounds familiar. I think that's what they called him. Yes, he was there. Oh, not many down there, but he was there. Like I said, I didn't stay long. I was got out of there very quickly. You'd be very surprised. They might be amputated at this point, me hands. They're probably purple, which I...
We should probably
Yeah, sorry. Okay, roll a D100. Yeah, you got a freebie when you cast light, because I definitely forgot. But we'll say the forest was warming up to you. $60 flat. Okay.
Do I roll something else with it?
You roll the other D10. So there's the one D10 that has the 10 spot, and the other D10 has the 1 spot. So it's going to be a...
Okay, so it's 2 now.
Yes. Yep. So you have a 60, now you roll your 1's spot.
67. Okay, I didn't know that, sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. This doesn't happen often. Why not just get a D100, like a ball? I really want to get one of those. If I ever go to Gen Con, I'll buy a D100. 66. A low rumble is heard in the distance. One sound that, Ren, you haven't heard for actually pretty recently, and you're getting flashbacks of your fight with the Kraken. Calliope, I want you to choose up to 3 creatures you choose within 30 feet of you take 4d10 lightning damage. But the way this reads is up to, so I would say at least 1 creature. Also, Anya does as well because of her bronze dragon armor. So you go to cast. You read Prestidigitation. You go to cast it, and you start to see the vomit and stuff start to clean up, and then kind of spiral upward. You hear the rumble of this cloud above, spirals upward, and then shoots down as a vomit lightning bolt. And you have, at the last second, get to redirect it into someone of your choice. Xander, Xerxes, the 5 of you, or Skippy. I know Anya lost 18, I think. Ren only has 25 left. The rest of you should be full. Actually, I don't know. I think... Yeah, I don't think you guys did. Okay. Everyone to bed. Alright. Roll 4d10. Roll 4d10 and then reduce it by half. Calliope, you'll roll that for her. Since you're the one. I probably don't need this. We'll just keep the vibes here. Alright, as the vomit spiral kind of vortex is up. You hear the low rumbling, and all of a sudden, this lightning bolt comes down. Calliope is able to redirect it, zoom, and electrocutes Valdric. You kind of feel a shock. It's not too terribly bad. You just you're awake.
I'm gonna turn to her and be like, I'm so sorry.
No, it's good.
When I understand what just happened.
Yeah, I think at this point you know that when you cast a spell, something wild happens. You've maybe dealt with warlocks before, whereas you are a magic user who studies and works hard your entire life and researches and scribes and learns your magic and spends money. Warlocks are basically someone's B word, a patron's plaything that uses them, and they siphon magic. Their magic comes from their patron, and this is something that a warlock would do. Is this wild magic?
I'll turn to Valdric and be like, I'm so sorry. I feel like that's gonna be happening a lot here with your wild.
I have a lot of fun.
Apologies for anything that happened to each other my back.
It's okay. Yeah, they all know.
What if he's thinking about
I really wish my hands were untied. It's
Skippy, we could have put that lightning on you, so I really think
it's
you could
you. I am so thankful. No, please, I've
tie Skippy before his hands close.
begging you. I'm begging you.
oh no, Ozzy wants that so I think she wants it. Yes.
I do.
Bring it. Sorry that it came up. But I'll let
I love a little name to hook me up.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay. Does anyone have food?
I'm gonna give him a ration, just like one ration.
Yeah. It's like a turkey leg or something. He just swivels it and it's a bone. Just immediate. Devours it. Well, you all have been very pleasant. Very pleasant. For the most part, I should say. But overall,
That really, really Skippy, so I very much appreciate it.
very pleasant. So you're headed to this prison, you say?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I could take you there, maybe, if you want. Just out of the... Understood, scary dragon lady. I just feel like I owe you all my life. And, maybe want a little revenge on the Stonecloaks for the way they treated me. If you could maybe, give them the old elbow to the face.
We're looking to cut off some fingers and some hands, friend.
Yes, some fingers and hands.
No, you don't have to ask us that.
Maybe some heads.
Yes, all sounds great. The way they treated me, they deserve it. I would like to see them suffer. And I really don't want to run into them again, so if you wipe them off the face of the earth, I won't have to be watching my back for the rest of my life. So, to Stonehaven?
Just Stonehaven, maybe.
We'll lead the way.
Alright, to Stonehaven. And he sets off. And that's probably where we will pause for the night.
Should we try to take a longer section now, thinking about it before we traverse over to the awful place?
If you guys want. Double digits.
That is still more
Got like
than
25 health behind us all, so I'm fine.
I'm using the flames.
As a cane. Cool. So you guys want a long rest? We can kind of roleplay that real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Okay. So you guys are long resting. Normally I would just say, yeah, you whip up a fire real quick and it's all good, but this being a strange enchanted forest in the Feywild, might want to do
Decided to pull over for sleeping tonight, maybe.
so in the Feywild, we all fan.
What?
In the Feywild, we all fan.
I don't understand.
Are you racist?
Are you
Are you
racist?
Feyist? Okay, sorry, I'm just looking this. Ren, how much XP did you say you're at?
XP.
Experience, yep.
After the add-up,
Yep.
62, 832.
You're almost level 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're level 9. I'll work with you real quick on that at some point. So you guys rest. You can easily do like 1 hour shifts to finish your night out because you have Xander and Xerxes. So everyone make a perception check. We'll do like a mass kind of check here before we finish off. I rolled a natural 21 for Xerxes.
Everybody real perceptive.
We're so perceptive right now. We scared.
What was the highest number? Was it 24?
I got 28.
28. Okay, 27. All right. Voldrick and Ren, during your watches, and we'll leave you with this little cliffhanger. You hear things going bump in the night, you know, as you do in the Feywild. Definitely some creatures that you don't want to know where those sounds originated from. Just kind of holding your own, making it through the night, making it through your hour-long shift. And I would say you guys have back-to-back shifts, and you both notice, you know, as the night goes on, it gets a bit colder, you know, dew starts forming towards the end of the night, and you're kind of getting into the wee hours of the morning. Dew starts to form, and there's something unnatural about this dew that's forming. The bubbles of water seem to move unnaturally on these petals of leaves, almost as if a heavy rain had just hit this forest and now they're kind of still dripping wet after the fact, but there has been no rain. It's been dry. And there's something almost alluring or intoxicating about watching this dew just form. You kind of see it form before your very eyes on the plant life around you. And we'll pick up there next time. If Troy, if you want to join us again, if you guys cool with that, just a little guest spot.
Everyone's gonna help us break into prison.
With a bag of beans.
Bag
Not the bee.
the beans.
Eat bag.
Oh, beans.
Oh no. How many of this do you have left?
9.
We had 12, we only used
Okay, awesome.
Stay wild.
Siphoned straight from the Feywild.
Oh no, you guys were eating the tree. There was all the fruit. You guys all.
Yeah, we ate fruit, and then I got cursed by one of the fruit, and then I had to cry.
Yeah. He could only speak in rhyme, and if he didn't, he would take... He took necrotic damage.
And just every time he was about to speak, you could just see like the physical look of pain on Troy's
Yeah.
face as he tried to like sit there and figure
I was like...
And then, like,
Yeah. Because then...
joke, and I was just
Because then Matt's character Aquarius became mute, and I was like, I thought it'd be funny for both of them to have to deal with that, but they both hated it, so I was like, alright, we'll figure out a way to restore you guys.
multiple sessions.
You were doing great, I just figured you hated it.
It was terrible.
I thoroughly enjoyed Aquarius being silent and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great time.
Oh, man. What a time. What a time. Little crossover event. Thanks for letting Troy join us, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, he carried a character in another part of the same world, so I figured it'd be fun to do a little